What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting, man. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday night. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Got a lot of news, man, after a great, exciting race there at Atlanta, my home track, man. And we're going to get right into it, man. So, first time you guys ever tuning in, the way we like to start the show is with the word of the day. So the way you play along is every time I say this word that's going to pop up on the screen, you're going to take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. I always say it's age appropriate as well. Anyone under the age of 21 can play along. Sweet tea, energy drinks, Kool-Aid, whatever it is, man. Summer's winding down. Got a couple more weeks before we're back on the grind of the school books, man. So stay up late, give it hell, man. So last week's word was bubble. And we went on to talk about the bubble. You know, I told you I'm going to be updating you on that week in and week out. So I'm sure I said that a few times. Sure you had a good little shot or a few sips of that adult beverage or a Red Bull or whatever it may be. So there again, this week's word is going to be, I have no idea what it is, y'all. Getting right into that NASCAR news, man. Sirens were blaring out there at Dawsonville Pool Hall, man, here in Georgia. If y'all know what it is, Chase Elliott came home victorious finally at the home track there at Atlanta, man.
Come on, man.
We're going to get a little bit more into details of other things that happened at that race, but hey, man, Chase the Bulldog Elliott brings home another trophy here in Georgia, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. So, Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain tangle once again, man. I tell you what, it seems like these two find a way to find each other every week in and week out at every single track, man. I got some more on this in just a little bit in that Atlanta recap, boy, because, whoo, Denny is not happy at all, man. So Christopher Bell, you know, we talked about it last week, had the crew swap there. Some crew members from the 20 went to the 23. 23 crew members went over there to the 20 car. Man, I tell you what, didn't work out good in Bell's favor either. Lost a tire there coming out of his pit box, never got the tire on. Luckily for Bell, man, they changed the damn tire rule, because I tell you what, if not, he'd be losing that crew chief and for you know, some crew members at a very valuable time, man. 7 races or 6 races left before we get into the playoffs, and losing crew members for 4 of them, that would have hurt, man. But I tell you what, NASCAR did the right thing, didn't penalize them like that. So on to the next one, man. So some more big news coming out, man. If you guys are fans of dirt racing at all, or a particular NASCAR driver, Kyle Larson and Sprint Cup, you know, or Sprint Series champion Brad Sweet are opening up their own dirt series, man, Sprint Car Series. So midweek races, bigger payout. I think it's going to do really well, man. You're talking about 2 of the best that have ever got behind the wheel of anything on dirt. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Don't think there's a name to that series yet. They did announce what it would be streamed on or you know, televised on. Didn't quite catch that. I'll have that update next week. But be on the lookout, man. Larson and Brad Sweet opening up that dirt series. Gonna be cool. I'll be checking that out for sure, man. So if you guys haven't yet, please go out, like, share, follow all our social media, not only mine, Coach's Corner, but you can find Rubbin' and Grubbin' on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Definitely make sure you go out to that Facebook or that YouTube channel, subscribe to that, share, follow us, man. I always like to say the more eyes we get on it, the more money we raise for the charitable events that we do here at Coach's and on Rubbin' and Grubbin', man. And big shout out to everybody that has, but let's continue to get that number to grow some more, man. I want to see it keep growing, man. So if you haven't, like I said, go out, like, share, follow all that social media, man. Had to give a big shout out to you know, another Georgia native, Austin Hill, out there, man. Austin won that Xfinity series there at Atlanta, and I don't think we give enough credit to some of these guys that are in that series, man. I don't think there's probably a feeling that a lot of NASCAR drivers can feel like winning at their home track. So Austin did bring home that Xfinity win there at Atlanta, and big shout out to him, man. Glad to see another Georgia boy getting the job done, man. So still waiting on the 2023 schedule to be released. I think they're late August is when they're going to drop it finally. I'm interested to see when and if, obviously, the Chicagoland or the Chicago street race is going to happen. I'm interested to see when, if we're going to use it as an all-star race, if we're going to use it on the normal schedule. I'm not a fan of it per se as of yet. I'll have to put eyes on it, kind of like the Dirt Bristol race. I'm still not a fan of that as well. I think there's a lot of things out there NASCAR can be doing with that schedule and with the racetracks we already have than trying to find new events in Chicago. The way I look at it is, yeah, I'm sure people will turn out. I'm sure it's going to be a cool, unique event. But Chicagoland was one of my favorite races, man. And it was a cool race and good there for a while. And then it kind of falling downhill, and I think we're going to see the same thing with the street course race when and if that does happen. But be on the lookout for that schedule. You know, I'll keep you guys updated and what changes I think they should have made and what changes they did make. We'll see what dates get moved around. We'll see what racetracks, if any, lose a second race. We'll see if some gain one back. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to wait till middle, late August for that, y'all. So some more big news coming out. If you guys were watching anything NASCAR news yesterday, Race Hub, anything, you heard that news drop, man. Tyler Reddick, the driver of the 8 over there at Richard Childress Racing, is leaving and going to 2311 beginning in 2024. So for all those Reddick fans, they bought that 8 gear. You still got another year to rock it out before you got to go out and buy all new gear there for 2311. But I know there's some, kind of disparity there with RCR. I know it's kind of bad timing on what they say on his part of coming out. But at the end of the day, man, you got to go get these drivers when they're available. RCR had the perfect opportunity when they were in, contract negotiations with them this year. Instead of signing for one, they could have signed them for 2-3 year deal, and they decided not to. So there again, I mean, you snooze, you lose. I think Denny Hamlin got a really good up-and-coming race car driver there. Now, it's going to be funny to see what they do at 2311. There's no announcement yet to see if somebody's going to lose a ride. We do know Bubba and Kurt Busch are both signed through 2311 throughout next season, and I have read an article where Denny has stated as long as Kurt Busch wants a ride at 2311, he's got a seat. So I really hope to not see Bubba Wallace go anywhere. I think maybe by the end of next year they're looking at a 3-car, very similar to what I think Trackhouse is going to do. What it costs to bring one in now compared to 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago is night and day. So if anybody wants to get in the sport, now's the time to do it. I think that the days of very underfunded single car teams that we see out there now, those charters are going to be the perfect opportunity for them to sell and kind of recoup money and get out of the sport. And I think you're going to see a lot of bigger names starting to buy up those charters. So I talked about it a few weeks. I still think that we should be running a 40-car field every week regardless. You got 36 charter teams, and if there's 38 guys that show up, they should start regardless if you have qualifying or not. That's just my outlook on it. Until we get over 40, where we got 44 guys trying to qualify every week, that all depends, man. But until we cross that bridge, we at least need 40 cars on the track. So hopefully here in the next couple of years, we get back to having full field of 40 race car drivers out there instead of 36 to 38, man. We see 40 maybe at Daytona, maybe at Talladega. But at the end of the day, I'd like to see 40 week in and week out. So hopefully we get it back there, y'all. I'm telling you right now, I would be dead wrong if I did not give another big shout out there to a guy I think that hasn't gotten enough credit for what he's able to do in both races at Atlanta, and that's the 7 of Corey LaJoie, man. I tell you what, I'll get into it a little bit later on in another segment of what it kind of cost us with him not coming home with the win or in the top 3 finish there. But at the end of the day, man, that's what you watch the sport for. You have a favorite driver, you love going to see him win. And Chase Elliott, if you guys watch the show, you know that's my dog.
Come on, man.
As soon as Gordon retired, that was my man. I'm going to roll with him until he retires. But at the end of the day, man, you couldn't help but pull for Corey LaJoie to somehow come out, get that Cinderella win there at Atlanta, man. I mean, I tell you what, at the end of the day, man, I wanted to see him have that, shake the playoffs up. And what even cooler story is him coming out in the middle, beginning of the week and calling a shot, going, I'm throwing the Hail Mary, I'm going for a win. And that man worked his way up through the field, and it's not like he just got there towards the end through a lot of folks wrecking out. That man raced his way up through traffic, got in the lead for a while, led some laps, battled through the top 5 there numerous times. Awesome, man. I hope there's some teams out there watching looking for a guy to give an opportunity, a better ride than what he has, equipment-wise. I think the kid's got talent, and I think you put him behind the wheel of something that's got some, mechanical backing back there week in and week out, you're going to see a guy really do really good. So big shout out there to Corey LaJoie as well, man, and big props, class act, dude. The way he acts, the way he carried himself after that race, class act, man. There's a lot of drivers out there that can take a lot of notes from that guy and learn how to at least act after a race for sure, man. So again, big shout out to Corey LaJoie and that 17, man. I hope they have a lot more good runs through the rest of this year and upcoming seasons, man. I really do. So hopefully they get a win, sneak it in somehow, or another good finish up there, man, for sure. But big shout out to the 7, man. So getting right into the next part of the show, man, you guys know Checker Flag for Charity. This is my favorite part of the show. This is why I'm up here doing the show, honestly. A few years ago when we started this, it was about NASCAR and charity stuff, and I had an opportunity to come up and talk about a sport that I love, but also raise money for very good causes, whether it's what coaches have, through John has something personal, what they've got rigged up. But this year it's personal for me and my wife and a lot of folks that we know. A friend of ours passed away and left behind a younger daughter. So this year's Checkered Flag for Charity is all about raising an educational fund for her. Did a Cooler Full of Joy last weekend. Don't know the exact amount was raised on that. We're going to roll another one this weekend as well. I'm telling you, if you guys come up to coaches for these concerts, you're always going to see something charitable. Like the cooler full of joy is something else going on up here. Make sure you bring some extra cash, man. Get it in on it. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's a feel good, and you can go home with a whole cooler full of alcohol, man, and make you happy, right? But I say it all the time, if you're a patron at Coach's Corner, you come up often, you see a bartender, you see John and Adele, you see a waitress, you see anybody in there, man, let them know you want to donate, check your flag for charity. Doesn't matter what the denomination is. Like I said, everything is accepted. It all stays right here local, going to a little girl that really is going to need the help down the road, man. So again, as I say all the time, nickels, pennies, dimes, 10, 20s, 150s, does not matter what you got to give, man. Give a little something, get a feel good, support your local community, man, because that's what it's all about. That's what we do at Coaches. That's what it takes to raise kids nowadays. It takes the clan, right? Not just the family, it takes the clan, man. So at the end of the day, be part of the clan. Throw some money in there, man. Like I said, all goes to a good cause here, staying local in the Savannah area, man. So you know the way we do it. Whatever car number wins that race, we always donate it in a checker flag for charity. Hey, man, the 9 car of Chase Elliott won. You know, anything under Christopher Bell in that 20 is always a 20. So that's another 20 added in. Minus that cooler full of joy last week, I think we're sitting right around $1,600, $1,500. So we're doing good, man. We still got 16 races left, I think. 16, 17 races left. We still got almost half the year left to raise some money. We got barbecue event coming up here. Like I said, I'm going to start pushing here towards the middle end of August. So it won't be till October, but going to give everybody plenty of time to do it. Might even crank up a 50-50 raffle a little bit before that. There again, half of the proceeds going to her, half of it going to the winner. That'll be announced at that barbecue contest. So stay in tune with Coach's Corner Sports Network. Stay in tune with Rubbin' and Grubbin'. I'll keep you up to date on that for sure as we go on, man. But we're going to raise a lot more good money for this little girl, man. I promise you that. So getting right into it, man, we're going to get into that who's hot and who's not. But before we do, I got to give a big shout out to the sponsor of it, Mr. Parker Eccles over there, Arbor Man Tree Service. I tell you what, he was in my family's motorhome spot here for this July Atlanta race. And I know he enjoyed that one, man. He sent me some pictures, got to drive an official pace truck for the Xfinity race. Actually drove some drivers around the track. It was pretty neat. He got to do that. And saw a lot of action right there in dead center of turn 2, man. That's where a lot of the big ones happened and a lot of action, man. So big shout out to you, brother. Hopefully you had a great time, man. You know I love you. You're more than welcome anytime to that spot. You know that, brother. But anyways, getting back to it, man. Arbor Man Tree Service, locally owned, locally operated, insured, man. Anything you need done tree service-wise here in the Savannah area, make sure you give Parker a call. You're going to see that number scrolling on the screen all night during the broadcast, man. Like I say, it doesn't matter if it's cutting some limbs back, whole tree removal, stump grinding. Hey, man, if you just need an estimate, give Parker a call, man. We're into the hurricane season. Hadn't been too crazy busy so far. I got a feeling that October and November it might get kind of wild. But like I said, man, if you're unsure, give Parker a call over there, Arbor Man Tree Service. He's going to hook you up. Come take a look at it, man, and always giving you a fair price. And again, locally owned, operated, man. Make sure you give Parker a call at Arbor Man, y'all. Parker, love you, brother. I'll call you here this week, man. Let's get up, have a cold beer here sometime soon, brother. Love you, man. So getting right into that who's hot and who's not, man. We'll start it out with the who's hot. And y'all should already know, if you watched the show last week, the same guy's going to be number 1, man, and that's the 9 driver, Chase the Bulldog Elliott himself, man. This kid ain't playing around, man. And look, I've been calling about 5 weeks into the show, it was going to be a repeat championship year of, 2020 to 2022, man, for Chase Elliott. I love the consistency he's shown all year. I love the way this team battles back. I think him and Alan Gustafson are an amazing crew chief driver duo. Hendrick has a way of putting those together if you kept up with them through the years. Jimmy Johnson, Chad Canals, Jeff Gordon, Ray Evernham. I mean, shall we continue and go on, man? But you got another real good one right here in Gustafson and Chase Elliott, man. That's 16 career wins. And when you go back and you look at it, and a championship, and you go back and look at it, it's right there neck and neck with what Dale Jr. did. Now, Dale Jr. was at 16 wins at about 30. Chase Elliott's 26 and 16 wins, man. So I'm telling you right now, I think we're in the generation of the sport where you're going to see Tom Brady type numbers coming out of a lot of guys. But Chase Elliott there again, heating up at the right time, summer going into playoffs. Now, I like to rival a lot of other commentators and a lot of other analysis for NASCAR that are out there are saying they're hitting their stride a little too early. I don't think that's right, man. I think they're getting that momentum going. I think you're going to see this guy win a couple more before we even get into the playoffs. And when you look at the playoff schedule and the races we go to, Talladega, Darlington, Martinsville, Phoenix, you've got the Roval at Charlotte. there's 5 races right there, not to mention Kansas, some other places that he's had success at. There's 5 places right there that he can easily go out and win, man. They haven't faltered all year. They haven't peaked and fell down and peaked again. They might have had some issues throughout the races here and there, but they found ways 90% of the time to battle back and get those top 10 finishes, man. So I think you're looking at championship year for the 9, just like I said, 5 weeks into the season. I will challenge anybody on that. That is my championship favorite, man, and I'm telling you, do not be surprised to see the man win 2 more out of the next 7. Should have had 3 out of the last 4. He gave that one up at Road America, but 2 wins out of the last 3 races ain't bad, man. And coming into New Hampshire, he could do it again, man. We'll see who I got number 1, but he could do it again. So Elliott's going to stay number 1 on that hot list, y'all. 2 for me, another person did not change at all, and that's Ross Chastain. Now, look, I'm not a big Ross Chastain fan. I love the fact of him fighting and clawing and scratching to make his way up to the Cup Series level, and he was making the most out of it, man. But, you know, came home second there at Atlanta. Most top 5 finishes going in, most top 10s, most top 5s right now on the year, dude. Finds himself sitting in really good position for the playoffs. There again, I think that when the opportunity is given, he's going to take it every time, and he's proven that this year throughout the race. Doesn't matter if it's for a win or if it's for a position. If it's there, he's going to race hard every lap. That's just who he is. Now, I'm not going to take anything away and say I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it's going to cost him when we get in these playoffs. I got some more on that a little bit later on the show. You're going to understand what I'm talking about. But right now, Ross Chastain, most top 5s, man, going out here killing it. Going to stay second on that hot list, man. 3, not even a driver, man. It's not even a driver. It's the all-new Atlanta Motor Speedway, man. I was there in March to watch it. It was an awesome, exciting race. What they just did and the show that got put on there in July was amazing as well. Anybody that downs this new 1.5-mile super speedway, if that's what you want to call it, it's in a league of its own, man. Anybody that downs the racing there is crazy. And I will tell you this, I did read some stuff on Twitter where there was a lot of people going back and forth about, oh, there's no passing, there's no this, there's no that. There was 24 passes for the lead there, 13 different drivers, 24 lead changes on a 400-mile race. The Daytona 500 this year had 35 lead changes between 16 different drivers with 100 extra miles on a true 2.2 or 2.5 mile, whatever you want to say, actual super speedway, man. So anybody out there talking about there was no passing going on, just shut the hell up, man. You don't even know what you're doing. Watch the race, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. Cut it off and watch the following week, man. Is what it is, brother. I'm telling you, Atlanta's got it going on. That is the newest track. Now, I hope when this schedule comes out, they move, not the March race, but they move this summertime race from July into the playoffs in October, man. I think that Atlanta deserves it outside of any other track. It's a brand new racetrack. There's a lot of cool things you can do. I think if you do some more testing with the next gen car, we can see a super speedway style in the spring or the fall and turn around and see that classic 1.5-mile package that we saw at Charlotte in the spring or fall. I think that would be an awesome idea. I think that would put a lot of butts back into the seats. I think those 2 times a year in Georgia, period, are beautiful times of the year. The weather is very similar. So there again, I think it's an awesome idea. But for right now, Atlanta Motor Speedway is on the hot list. All the entertainment they did for the fans, not only in March, but the Revs and Riffs concert they had, Flow Rider, Blackberry Smoke, Candlebox, a lot of other bands that played. Atlanta is finally falling back into the form of when I remember it as a kid with the No Bull, concert set up in the infield for years there, man. So I love to see it. Big shout out there to everybody that has their hands in what's going on at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Smiths and I know, the track manager and everybody they have there does a lot to go out and make sure it's fan-friendly and fun for the families, man. So big shout out there to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Y'all made the hot list, man. So moving into the who's not, man, and it's Ross Chastain on the who's not. And I told you I got more on this, man. It's very rare a driver makes the who's not, the who's hot and the who's not, but Chastain did it. And it's not jockeying and downing him for the aggressiveness or what he does, but he's going to learn a very valuable lesson here coming up in about 6, 7, 8 weeks, man. When we get in these playoffs, if he finds himself a little bit lower on that cut, a little bit lower, has one bad race in those playoffs, you can guarantee Denny Hamlin is getting ready to make this hell. And it's not only Denny Hamlin, it's a lot of guys, man. You got Denny Hamlin, you got Ross Chastain, that battle, you got Martin Truex, we saw him get it, a racing deal. I know when you got the run you got and you bumped Truex, it was kind of an off-center bump, got him into the wall. He came back to have a decent day there. But at the end of the day, man, you can't do that. You got to learn to lift the foot off of the gas, man. It's not the end of the race. You got to take a break. And I know that he's heard this probably throughout the whole season. But at the end of the day, it's going to cost him dearly. For a guy that's had the most top 5 finishes, man, and running really good week in and week out, you're going to get in those playoffs, and it's not going to surprise me if the 11 wrecks you three races. I mean, it's not going to surprise me at all. And to be honest, Denny don't give a damn if they park him. He really doesn't give a damn, man. So at the end of the day, it's just something you got to watch out for. I think he's got to calm it down. I love the aggressive style. I love the go for broke attitude. But to be a champion in this sport, you've got to learn to maintenance that race car. You've got to learn to maintain the race and maintenance your aggression throughout the race. You start rubbing guys the wrong way, the more guys you rub, the harder it is to pass, man. And I'm telling you, he's going to get some payback coming up here in the playoffs. So for right now, he's on the who's hot and the who's not, man. So the only other guy making the not list right now, and it's Joey Logano, man. And this is why I say that. And New Hampshire is a home track for him. He could go out. He's won before. He could go out and win it again. But when you look at it, 3 out of the last 4 races outside the top 10, outside the top 13, honestly, had 1 top 10 finish out of the last 4 races coming after that win at Worldwide Technology there in St. Louis. So the 22 team is kind of on a downward slope. They've got to get it back together. I know what they were caught up in Atlanta really wasn't of their doing. But man, you got to get it back, man. We're coming into those summer months. In the next 2-3 weeks, you got to be hitting into peak performance, man, and have all the bugs worked out. Can't have the bad weeks like this in the playoffs. So as of right now, the 22 team is going to sit on the not list. We'll see maybe this week if they can rebound, get a good finish, get it cleared off, man, and start building that momentum back in when we get in those playoffs and make another championship run for that 22 team and Joey Logano, man. But for now, on the not list, man. So hope everybody's having a great Wednesday out there, man. I hope you guys are enjoying the episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. If you haven't yet, like I said, like, share, follow all that social media. Want to give a big shout out there to John and Adele Henderson and Coach's Corner Sports Network. Man, I tell you what, they have a lot of good sports shows that come out of Coach's here, man. And we're going to get into those later on. But if you haven't yet, go out, like, share, follow all those shows, social media, man, and keep up to date with what we got going, not only at Coach's, local sports and national sports with our own twist, man. So big shout out there again to John and Adele, Coach's Corner, and Coach's Sports Network, y'all. So moving right into the next thing, we got that Atlanta recap. Man, that was a wild race there at Atlanta, man. That was one of the most entertaining races of the year to me. The 600 at Charlotte, there again, I've got that marked down in my book. That was a freaking awesome show, man. Awesome race. Got another awesome race that we had in show put on here at Atlanta. These guys went for it, man. And 1.5 mile super speedway, I tell you what, it was exciting. There was a lot of action, a lot of bumper use, a lot of guys getting passed, a lot of guys getting in trouble. The carnage there, everybody loves the carnage and the drama, but I tell you what, at the end of the day, it was an awesome race. And if you were watching earlier, you know my main man, Chase the Bulldog Elliott, the hometown hero, brings home that trophy there at the Quaker State 400 in Atlanta, man. I really wish I was there in person to watch it happen, man, because I tell you what, I've been telling everybody I can't wait for him to win in Atlanta. He got it done. I just wasn't there in the stands, man. I had to work. But at the end of the day, hopefully when I go back in March, he comes back and gets it done again. So Atlanta, man, the myth, the legend, can see him throw it down and get that checkered flag himself, man. But awesome race there, man. Battled it out, came down to the white flag there. Corey LaJoie went for broke, man, threw it in, sent the Hail Mary. Chase put a good block on him. By the way, anybody out there that's saying that was a horrible block, spare me. I got more on that in a little bit. But like I said, an amazing race, man. A lot of guys got some good finishes. Eric Jones inside the top 5. I mean, just so many good guys battled back throughout that race to get a good top 10, top 12 finish, man. Some guys didn't. That's just the way the cookie crumbles on those super speedway style races. But at the end of the day, awesome race there at Atlanta, man. So there again, Ross Chastain found himself in some hot water, man. He probably, got into it with Truex, like I said, kind of caused an accident there, pile up there, turned around, got into it with Denny Hamlin. That was probably the best looking car on the racetrack. Those guys have had history all year, and Denny pretty much came out and said, look, man, I'm at my peak with frustration. I've said what I have to say. He better know what's coming to him, basically, in the nicest way put. He better know what's coming to him, man. I'll look for the 11 when these playoffs starts to retaliate in numerous races. I don't know how many times they've tangled. I know of at least, I think, 2, 3, 4. So however many times they tangled, you can believe that Denny's going to put the bumper to him and try to take him out that many times. I say 2 to 3 times minimal. So Chastain better be nowhere around that 11 car when these playoffs starts, because he is going to find himself in the wall, in the garage, in a bad way, man, hurting for points. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what he does. We'll see if it keeps going. But at the end of the day, watch out for that 1 in the 11, man, because it's making things real interesting out there, man. So getting into that New Hampshire preview, one of the best short tracks we go to all year long. Got one of the coolest trophies in the sport, Loudon the Lobster, man. That's got to be the biggest freaking lobster I ever seen in my life. Denny Hamlin was scared of it, didn't really want to hold it up the couple times he's won there. But I tell you what, man, can't take anything away from New Hampshire. We saw Aric Almirola come back and get that 1 win of the season last year for him, lock himself into those playoffs, man, and make a run at it. Don't know if you'll see that same thing this year. We'll have to tune in on Sunday and watch. But at the end of the day, a great race there in New Hampshire, as always. I hope it doesn't rain. I hope we get it in on Sunday. I know it's supposed to be hot. It's going to be slick. It's going to be fast. Drivers' attitudes and temperatures are going to be up. I expect more fireworks coming in and some bumper usage at this short track coming in this Sunday, man. So there again, tune in this Sunday. I think it's a 400-mile race there at New Hampshire. Going to be freaking awesome, man. So getting into that top 5, who I think you should look out for. I don't know how you pick against this guy right now with 2 out of the last 3 races being wins, but I'm going to take the 9 car again, man. Chase Elliott finds a way to go out, put himself in contention for the wins late, always in the top 5, top 10. No reason why the man can't go out and win it again. So until somebody proves me wrong outside of these next couple weeks, I'll take Chase Elliott number 1, man. 2 for me, a guy that has had a dismal season, I guess, for what you expect out of that car. What we've seen in years past, and that's the 11 in Denny Hamlin, man. If there's a place right now outside Martinsville and Darlington, I think he can go and get another win, it'll be New Hampshire, man. So we'll see if the driver of the 11 can go back and get it done, get another checkered flag. But right now, he's sitting number 2 on the top 5, man. 3 for me is Kyle Larson. There again, found a way somehow to battle back and get that win there this past, or a good finish there this past weekend in Atlanta. I think he's due for another one. I think they're kind of getting the ball and the kinks worked out of their system that they have over there in the 5 camp. We'll have to see if they can go and get it done. But I'll take Kyle Larson 3 on that list, y'all. 4 for me has got to be the 18 of Kyle Busch. Very dismal day on the road course, very dismal day there in Atlanta. Got caught up in some traffic and an accident. But at the end of the day, the 18 knows how to get it done at New Hampshire as well, man. I look for a strong rebound weekend for that crew. I think there again, very fast race cars all season long, and I think Kyle Busch is going to get a couple more wins out of it as well, man, before we get done with the season. I look at him, over under, I'll take 3 wins, man. When it's all said and done, 18 driver will have 3 wins when we wrap the 2022 season up, man. So there again, got him 4th on the list. 5th for me, can't go without putting the 1 car on there. The consistency there inside the top 5 week in and week out, battling up front for those wins. I got to put him on the list, man. So I'll take Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Man, as my 5th driver. Now, getting into some dark horses. A little harder to pick this week. Short track, totally different beast and ball game. But a couple guys that I think can go out and get it done, going to be sitting pretty good. 43 car Eric Jones coming off there again, a top 5 at Atlanta. I think that, we've seen history with the 43 there at New Hampshire before, obviously. And I think that, if there's a place he can go out and battle and contend with a fast race car, it'll be New Hampshire, man. So we'll see if Eric Jones can go and get it done. Another one, not really too much of a dark horse, had success there. Outside of Michigan, I think this is this guy's best racetrack to go and get it done, and that's Kevin Harvick, man. I think if there's a weekend that they have circled on the calendar in the last couple months, it's got to be New Hampshire, man. So we'll see if the driver of the 4 car can go out there and lock in that first win of 2022 here this weekend. Wouldn't surprise me one bit, man. A little bit further down on that list, can Aric Almirola repeat? Can we get another, first-time winner? There's still some guys out there that hadn't won yet, if it's in their Cup Series career or if it's on the season, man. So we'll see if we get a new winner here coming up this year or this week. But look out for Aric Almirola again, man. If they bring good equipment, he's proven he can get around New Hampshire with the best of them very well, man. So keep an eye on him, man. So that'll wrap it up for the preview, man. We're getting right into that money bet. Now, look, y'all, I'm going to tell you guys like this. Me and Lawrence, we're getting ready to clean house. We're still doing pretty good. We did pick the winner. We did go in the positive there with Chase Elliott. We're still up 825 units on the year, not bad. But man, we were going to clean house, buddy. We had LaJoy for a top 3. That was at plus 2,400. That's a big payout day right there, man. I'm telling you right there. We had Eric Jones top 3 and Elliott for a win, man. So after they took that white flag coming around, I was praying and my fingers were crossed, man. My fingers were crossed that nobody was going to act up. I knew LaJoy was probably going to go for it, and he did. That cost us a pretty good payday, man. That would have been, let's see, right around about a 1,300 unit hit in the positive right there on that one race, man. We were sitting real good. Not going to complain about winning some money or, some units. Some's better than none. But at the end of the day, it wasn't meant to be on that one. We'll see if we can come back at another racetrack this year and pop another good finish out there, man. But doing pretty good, man. So this week, I think we're probably going to play it a little more conservative. The odds are looking pretty good. I'm going to wait a little bit and see who qualifies where, but just off the top of my head, man, you got the 9, the 18, the 12, and the 11 sitting at all really pretty decent odds to take them. I think the 5's favored again there somehow. I don't know where these guys come up with these favorite odds. I mean, what he's been doing the last few weeks, not taking anything away from Kyle Larson, but what he's been doing the last few weeks, man, is just not being consistent enough to go out and me take him for a win and the favorite at what he's valued at. I think there's a little bit better value just a few spots deeper in the field. So those 4 guys, I'll be taking 1, maybe 2 of them for a win. We'll get into like a second tier, if you will. There again, Christopher Bell, Kevin Harvick, a couple other guys that are out there, William Byron, Alex Bowman. Those guys are going to be a little further in the back. There again, they haven't been very consistent over the last few months. But there again, I think if you look at it, Harvick has a really good shot at going out and getting it done. Christopher Bell has been hunting on one all year long, man. I mean, he had a real good run in Atlanta minus that tire issue. So I look for them to hopefully rebound strong. No more pit road issues for the 20. We'll see if they can go out and get it done. I'll look at value in them. And if you're looking for somebody to go out and pull it off, man, I mean, there again, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Eric Jones and maybe even Eric Almirola, man, the Eric and Eric show. Jones will definitely be one of the top 3 guys I take this week. I think that they've proven that they can go out and get it done with anybody if they get a fast race car and no mistakes and no getting caught up in anybody else's mistakes. I think they always run good, man, so I'll also look out for them on the money bet as well, man. But those are the guys I got my eye on this week. We'll have to see what we end up rolling with and if we come out in the positive or negative this week. But at the end of the day, check those odds out, man. Look at some of the guys I named. Maybe come up with your own lineup. But there's some good value, a little deeper mid-range in that pack of the field this week, man. So look at those value drivers there for sure. So getting right into that next, we're getting ready to get into the hard right turn, man. But before we do, I got to give a shout out to another sponsor of mine that sponsors the hard right turn, and that's Lamar's Body Shop, man. Right up here, located right off Skidaway Road, man. 30 plus years serving the Savannah area, man. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter what it is. If you need some paint work done, some body repairs, man, if you got an accident, hell, if you need that pesky little insurance quote you need for the insurance, man, make sure you roll up there and see Lamar at Lamar's Auto Body, man. I personally had some family, get their cars repaired. LB's got his stuff up there right now, or getting ready to soon, getting it repaired, knocked out, man. So there again, any kind of automotive body stuff you need done, go see Lamar's Body Shop up there, man. He's going to hook you up. He's going to take care of it. And, man, when I tell you this thing's going to come out looking like a new Chris dollar bill, that thing's coming out looking like a new Chris dollar bill, y'all. Lamar, I love you, brother. Thank you for everything you do for me and Rubbin and Grubbin and everybody up here at Coaches, man. Thank you, brother. Greatly appreciated, man. So if you're tuning in, first time watching the show, the way I like to do the hard right turn is I kind of throw my opinion and input about it. Something in the sport, maybe something a little bit outside of the sport that's got to do with it. Might be a driver, might be something that happened in that race from the last week, man. But this week we're going to get it going, and it's going to be complaining about the all-new Atlanta. So you guys know I put Atlanta on the hot list, man. I'm on social media. My Twitter account, AtlantaMan247. It's nothing but NASCAR. That's all I follow. I've got a few followers, local sports show. I don't really follow people back. It's just my forte. I just kind of get into following people and posting my stuff all about NASCAR, man. So I've been on there the last few days after that race ended, especially Sunday night and Monday. Man, there was just so many people out there complaining about Atlanta. Look, man, I heard people complain about Atlanta when it was old. I enjoyed it when it was an older track, too. It came down to tire management, fuel runs, position, pit strategy. It came out to a lot of different things. I watch guys win it all kinds of different ways, man. But at the end of the day, it's the same scenario, man. There wasn't a lot of passing at the old Atlanta. It had 5-10 laps, guys. A little bit deeper in the field, you might have had some guys side by side for position, long runs maybe. But at the end of the day, those top 10, 12, 13 guys, they were strung out, man, 2-3 car lengths apart. It was just a different style of racing, man. As I stated the facts earlier, 24 lead changes, 24 passes for the lead in this race at Atlanta in July, 13 different guys. February, Daytona 500, 4 more cars, 100 miles longer of a race, had 35 total, man. 17 different leaders, so come on, man.
Come on, man.
It's a style of racing, and I think people need to get out from under a rock and go, oh, it's boring and this and that. That's the most entertaining super speedway racing I've seen, period. Daytona doesn't do it like that. Talladega doesn't do it like that. Only Atlanta can do it the way you've seen it in March and again in July, man. You go to Talladega and Daytona, guess what you see? You see restarts, double file for a while. You might see 2 race packs, double file for a while, just like you do at Atlanta. Eventually, at some point in time, mid-race and towards the end of the race, they get single file. The only kind of passing you see is when a guy gets a run and there's a gap big enough in front of that guy to pass him and take that one position and snake your way up. You're going to pass one guy at a time, one guy at a time, one guy at a time. And that's only if it's available for you to do, man. So for everybody out there that just complains about no passing and this and that, all new Atlanta, you guys got to be under a rock, or you just must not watch the race. You must just watch pieces of it. I don't even know if you watch it. You must listen. I don't know what you do, man. But y'all got to be smoking some crack out there. Y'all are on drugs, man. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is one of the best races I've seen in the last couple of years come out of Atlanta, come out of anywhere, period. I'm a fan of it. I love the old Atlanta. I think that once this track gets worn a little bit, 2-3 more seasons of the seasons that we have here in Georgia, especially Atlanta, a little northern Georgia, middle of the state, snow, ice, hot summers, cold winters, you're going to see some real craziness come out of that track in the next few years, man. Now there again, like I said, what I would love to see is NASCAR get on board and Atlanta get on board. I don't care if it's spring or summer or fall, hopefully if we move it. I want to see the 1.5 mile package we saw run at Charlotte run on this all-new Atlanta. So we can do one super speedway race, one normal package, 1.5 mile package race. I think it would put butts in the seat. I think it would give Atlanta its own unique characteristics outside being the new style, 1.5 mile, 28-degree, 40-foot wide, freaking amazing track that they built there. I think it would do a lot of good things, not only for Atlanta itself, but for the sport. I think we need to get that Atlanta race moved. Not a summertime night race. I've been there, done that Labor Day. I've been there, done that numerous times. We need this thing in October sometime, man. Like I said, March and October, maybe even early April and October, perfect scheduling for Atlanta. And there's no reason, look at me in my eyes, y'all. There's no reason that a brand new racetrack, a brand new reconfigured racetrack should not be in the playoffs compared to some of the ones that we have in there, man. Move the roval. Take the road course out. If we're going to do 6 a year, do all 6 before we get to the playoffs, man. I don't give a damn. It's owned by the same corporation. I'm sure they'd be just as happy with it being in Atlanta as they are with it in Charlotte at that time of year, man. So at the end of the day, I'm going to start hashtagging everything Atlanta playoff race. That's what it's going to be on my Twitter account for the next 3 months, y'all. Hashtag Atlanta playoff race, man. Well, that'll wrap it up for the rubbing, y'all. We're moving right into the grubbing, and I got one of my favorite treats up here. This is an awesome, awesome thing to eat on at Coach's any given time. If you've never had any kind of the calzones, the stromboli, or the pizzas that come out of Coach's Corner, you guys are slacking. Now, this is the stromboli, bro, and I am going to tear this thing a new one when I get out of here. I do mine pepperoni, bell peppers, Italian sausage, onions, loaded down with the cheese, house-made marinara, dude. This thing is to die for. You can do it any way you want, man. You want buffalo chicken style stromboli, they'll do buffalo chicken, man. You want mushrooms, you want everything loaded all the way, they'll load it, man. So definitely, like I say all the time, if you hadn't had this, come check it out. If you hadn't had anything yet at Coach's out of this kitchen, man, let me tell you, this kitchen pumps out some of the best eats in the surrounding area, man. Awesome food, awesome people, awesome drinks. Coach's Corner, man. Come get y'all a piece of this stromboli, y'all. Let me get this out the way. I can't let nothing happen to this. I got to protect it with my life because I'm getting ready to tear it up, man. But I do want to give a big shout out there to ESPN 104.3, ESPN Coastal, man. Green White Checkered there with PJ Zuko. Hadn't been on in a few weeks, man. We keep missing it. PJ either got some stuff going on in the studio and can't quite get me on in the time frame I have on Sunday mornings. He was on vacation for a couple weeks. So, y'all, I'm telling you, hopefully this Sunday you get to hear Atlanta Man, and PJ Zuko breaking down everything new in NASCAR that I don't get to tonight. They're Sundays, 9 to 9:30, ESPN 104.3, Green White Checker, man. PJ does an amazing job putting that show on, man, editing it up before it hits the radio and bringing to you all that new NASCAR news, man. I'm thankful to be a part of it. PJ, if you're watching, brother, I hope you have a great night, man. I'll text you Saturday. We'll touch base, man, and we'll get this thing back on the air and get the train rolling in the right direction, man, because we got a lot of good stuff to talk about, man. Love you, brother. Want to give a big shout-out out there to John and Adele Henderson and everybody here at Coaches, man. Awesome place. I'm telling you guys, you got to come out and check it out. Some of the nicest, coolest people you're ever going to meet in your life, man. And big thanks again to John and Adele for letting me do my show here and sponsoring my show as well. And big shout out to John Henderson, man. Don't know if y'all see this nice little piece of bling I got right here, man, but World Series Championship Atlanta Braves ring, man. So he was kind enough, they went to the game Monday, brought this home. He's kind enough to let me wear it during the show, but I'm going to slide it and set it right there just as a reminder for everybody hating out there on those Braves, man. World Series champs 2021, hopefully a repeat this year in 22, baby. But do got to give a big shout out there to all Coach's Corner Sports Network shows, man. We got Hot Grits, the podcast. It streams every Tuesday. You can stream it anywhere you stream your normal podcast, man. Those guys, Travis and Spencer, do an amazing job, man. They are funny. God, that show's such a good podcast to listen to, man. Both of them know their stuff about inside and outside of sports. They talk local, they talk national, they talk all sports, man. So if you haven't yet, check out Hot Grits, awesome podcast. Got to give a big shout out to Coach Carl DeMasi too, a really big supporter of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. I see Coach up here out in the crowd all the time, listening to my NASCAR stuff. He's got his midweek show, drops every Tuesday night. Who's on First Base? Keeping you up to date, him and Kyle Lawson, keeping you up to date on everything breaking in MLB news, what teams are turning in the right direction, what teams are turning wrong, who needs to do what before we get into the playoffs, what we're looking like. I mean, man, they keep you up to date on everything. So definitely make sure you tune into that. Who's on First Base? Tuesdays, every Tuesday, I'm pretty sure it drops. He also does that Coach Carl DeMasi Sports Report, been around, staple of the community for years. All local sports, high school, soccer, volleyball, golf, breaking it down, football, basketball, everything for you. That's live right here at Coach's Corner every Saturday, 9 to 9:30 right here. Coach Carl doing that sports report, man. Make sure you do that. Got to give a big shout out there to the Herb brother, or the Herbs as well, man. Sean and Brent Herb, those guys are awesome, funny as hell. The 19th hole, if you hadn't seen it yet, go YouTube it. Watch this past year's, man. It is awesome. Hopefully we get it rolling to where we can get these guys to do a little golf commentary Saturday, Sunday maybe. I'm going to keep pressuring them. Everybody's going to eventually, hopefully we'll make that happen up here for y'all because, man, they know their stuff about some golf, man. Make sure you check them out as well. Wouldn't be a good enough thing if I did not give a shout out to everybody out here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, everybody at Coaches, man. John and Dale Henderson, big thanks to y'all as well. That's going to wrap it up pretty much, man. I do want to say thanks everybody tuning in. Thanks for everybody's support you guys give me on and off of the show, man. It's an awesome thing I get to do. None of that is possible there again without John and Adele Henderson and all the patrons and people here at Coach's Corner, man. I can't speak highly enough about the staff, the management, John and Adele Henderson, all the patrons here, the Coaches family. Man, I tell you what, we all support and love each other. I can't speak highly enough, man. So there again, if you haven't come out yet and checked Coaches out, make sure you do, man. I tell you all the time, great food, great people, great drinks, great place to just have a family dinner, have a good time, man. Come out here to Coaches, check it out. We got little, song stuff they do on Wednesday night. I hadn't officially found out the name of this yet, but I'm going to. They do this for an hour from about 6 to 7 every night. You're more than welcome to come up and hang out. What is it? Midtown Pickers is the name of it, man. So John's been nice enough. A place they normally do this at is going through some renovations right now. John's been nice enough, opened up the doors. They're doing it every Wednesday, 6 to about 7 out here in the Sound Garden. You guys come out. What's that? 8? Oh, till 8? 6 to 8? Oh, man, 6 to 8. Got 2 hours worth of music. Excuse me. Don't quote me on what I say, man. 6 to 8. You guys are more than welcome to come up and check it out. It's free, man. I'm telling you, they got some amazing talents out here. I've been watching them for the last couple of weeks. It is really neat to see what they put together. And it is just like a jam fest, man. They just get together. They play music together. Harmonicas. We got big stand-up bass. We've got acoustics. We've got all kinds of different types of music going on out here. Everybody plays along. It is an awesome show. So there again, Midtown Pickers out here Wednesdays, 6 to 8. Come check them out, man. Throw a little money out there for these musicians if you're going to hang out and watch it, man. They deserve it. I promise you that, man. But that's going to do it for Rubbing and Grubbing tonight, man. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Big shout out again for John to let me hold this sexy thing I got up here, y'all. Boom, 2021 championship ring, World Series, baby. That's all we talk about. All we're trying to do is bring back championships to Georgia, man. We had the Bulldogs do it. We had Elliott do it in 20. And I'll be damned if we didn't have the Braves do it this year, last year. We're going to do it again this year. Dogs winning a national title, Braves winning it, and Elliott winning that championship. And you can best believe when they come to that Georgia Hall of Fame again, Brandon's going to be there just so we can see that main man, Chase Elliott, and see those 3 trophies in person, y'all. But like I said, always the support. Love y'all. Thank y'all very much. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday out there. Enjoy this last little bit of summer we got before we get back to reality with the kids going to school and all the hoops and loops that go with that, man. Make sure you hug your loved ones out there. Give them a kiss and a hug, man, because you never know. Tomorrow is not given, y'all. Hey, as always, stay safe out there. Until next time, bam. Wash your hands, y'all. Love y'all, man.